all morning. The Fox 61 Morning News starts now.
After a couple of days of some very impressive rainfall, what's in store for the rest of the week? My forecast on the way next.
School safety is top of mind for districts in our state. We'll have more on that.
Also, we'll have more on how the Enfield community trying to move forward in creating a more inclusive place to work and live.
Good morning to you on this Wednesday. We made it to the middle of the work week. Hope you're feeling good so far. Yeah, trucking along.
Yep.
It's 6 o'clock on a Wednesday. Thank you for waking up with us here on Fox 61. I'm Symphony Privet.
And I'm Tim Lammers, and we're starting with the forecast with meteorologist Matt Scott on what was, at least at 4:30, a very dark morning.
Yeah.
It was up by the Mass border where I was, foggy. It wasn't overcast.
There's a lot of low clouds out there as we bring out the moisture, but
Yeah.
look at the shot behind you.
Get
It's
better.
beautiful in the Hartford Metro right now, and that's what we're looking for today. The storms have passed after a couple of days of some badly needed rain. They have finally moved out. For today, hot temperatures and semi, but we'll take it, lower humidity. We have a weekend as we get closer, chugging along, as Symphony said. Weekend shaping up nicely. Temperatures in the 60s everywhere you look. 66 at Hartford, 67 New Haven and Groton. Your dew points, yeah, we'll take this. 62 to 65, considering yesterday we were around 70. It's a step in the right direction. The humidity for today is going to be on hold. As a matter of fact, it stays like that for the next couple of days. Rain-wise, we are done. We'll pull out the view, show you a northwesterly flow. A little rain still for northern parts of New England, not for us. Guidance suggests temperatures get up there, upper 80s later on. A few clouds in the afternoon, but all in all, a nice couple of days ahead. We'll talk about that and when the next rainmaker's on the way. That's coming up. Let's go to the roads right now, 6:02, and Lauren's got an update on something going on in West Hartford.
Yeah, there's a water main break that we'll get to in just a second. I'll show you where it is and the details about how long it is going to be closed. Let's bring you out to that right now. This is in West Hartford, as Matt had mentioned. There's a water main break, and this is at Prospect and Lockwood Terrace. So they are saying to expect closures through lunch because crews are not able to get out there until about 8 a.m. So hopefully it will be cleared shortly through that lunchtime. So definitely avoid this. We will talk some detours coming up at 6:30. For now, throughout the rest of the state, Windsor to the I-84 interchange via 91 South moving freely. We have seen a little bit of delay. New Britain Ave to the Hartford Tunnel. It'll take you about 8 minutes to get there. Glastonbury to the Founders Bridge. Route 2 is looking good. Taking a live look out in Hartford right now, right at exit 51 on I-84 eastbound moving freely. And down in Fairfield County, we haven't seen any delays start just yet. Fairfield moving freely as of right now, the north and the southbound side of I-95. And New Haven is looking good as well. Like I said, we'll have a little bit more about that water main break and some detours available coming up at 6:30. For now, guys, I'll send things back over to you.
We're just a week away from the start of school in many districts in our state, and like every year, safety is a top priority.
Yeah, so one school district took that to another level and conducted a massive security exercise. And this morning, Fox 61's Julia LeBlanc joining us live in the studio to tell us all about it. Hey, Julia.
Hi, good morning to you. At the beginning of this month, Waterford Police got together with the school district and other first responders in the region to conduct a first-of-its-kind safety exercise, at least a first of its kind for them. Now, these are photos we want to show you of that training, which simulates an active shooter at Quaker Hill Elementary School. Teachers took part and so did a handful of students. But what's different about this, though, is it's involving all law enforcement and school personnel who would be involved if there ever was an active shooter within the district or even in the area at, say, a town hall or something, including agencies from nearby New London and Montville Police.
We all train individually. The police department, we train regularly on active shooter drills and emergency response drills. The fire department does their training. The schools do their separate training. So this was kind of putting all of our trainings together into the same exercise to see how we work together.
Now, Lieutenant Ferland says they know now they do need to work on a few things, like streamlining communication so different departments have a direct contact in this emergency. Now, this was all months in the making, and it just so happened that the Uvalde, Texas school shooting took place in the process of that planning. It's all a reminder, they say, that this training was completely necessary.
I think it also helps to show the public that we absolutely take it serious. It's something that we continually talk about. We continue to do exercises and drills and plan for. We hope it never happens, but you always want to be ready in case it does.
Now, other than this training, what else can districts and police take away from the shooting in Uvalde, Texas? Well, we'll hear from an expert on that topic coming up in the next hour. For now, though, Symphony and Tim, we will send it back to you.
Alrighty, thank you, Julia. Well, happening today in East Hartford, kids will be heading back to the classroom. Hey there, along with teachers and school staff, kids at Langford Elementary School will also be welcomed back by Governor Lamont. Now, he released a message ahead of the school year. Listen to this.
Get to know your teachers. Parents get to know the teachers as well. Make this the very best beginning for the new school year.
You can expect more from the Fox 61 School Squad. Check out this QR code on your screen here. Just put your phone camera up to it and it'll give you everything you need to know to get ready for the first day of school. You can also get more on fox61.com and the Fox 61 News app.
Well, happening right now, a lot of people with student loan debts are hoping today's the day they could get some big-time relief, although this is one of the most controversial issues in the country right now. President Biden reportedly expected to make an announcement today, and while the details aren't known, proposals have reportedly included eliminating $10,000 in federal loan debt for people who make under $125,000 a year. Opponents said, though, it could worsen both inflation and future college costs.
Right now, the family of an East Haven man are suing Yale New Haven Hospital after he died while in their care. 23-year-old William Miller died at the hospital in May of 2021. According to court filings, he was brought to Yale New Haven after he ingested a white substance that he suspected was laced with fentanyl at a gathering. We'll take a look here. Body cam footage shared with Fox 61 by the family's attorney shows Billy walking and talking with EMS after Narcan treated the suspected overdose. Now, the lawsuit claims emergency responders treated him for an overdose and brought him to the hospital around 7 p.m. Then at 2 a.m., a staff member found him without a pulse. Earlier this month, his family filed a lawsuit seeking damages for his death.
This is a case of medical abandonment. So it's a case where somebody shows up in the emergency room with a very treatable condition. They are never given a doctor. They're never actually even given a nurse. Receive no treatment whatsoever.
In a statement to Fox 61 News, Yale New Haven Health's PR director acknowledged the lawsuit and said, quote, "Even in the best organizations, gaps in care may occur. When they do, our goal is to acknowledge them, learn from them, and ensure that we minimize any chance that they ever occur again." End quote. Now, the hospital also adding, quote, "We have offered our sincere apologies to the family of the patient and are working towards a resolution." End quote.
Well, this morning, several teachers and a former administrator in Plymouth are facing accusations that they failed to report the sexual abuse of students, and more of them are expected to be arrested. Now, James Eschert already was. He's a former teacher at Plymouth Center School. He's facing several charges, including fourth-degree sexual assault. Fox 61 has sent a letter to families has a letter that was sent to families that has the arrest warrants for the 3 other school employees and 1 former administrator. The letter said those employees failed to report the allegations of abuse by Eschert. The 4 people are currently on administrative leave. Eschert was arrested back in January and pleaded not guilty. In Enfield, the conversation continues this morning on how to handle acts of racism in that town. The latest happened when a high school athlete was called a racial slur when out fundraising for his high school football team. So last night, people there came together to talk and to listen about how to make their community more inclusive.
What is our responsibility? What is all of our responsibility when something like this happens?
I want change made. I want people to be more respectful and understand that we are all different people and just be a better town.
A town official said this one incident is not reflective of the town as a whole, but that action still needs to be taken in order to see progress. Enfield police said their investigation did confirm a racial slur was used, but that doesn't mean there's any grounds to pursue any criminal charges.
Developing this morning in Manchester, police have arrested a Hartford man accused of stealing catalytic converters, among other items. Take a look at your screen. Here we have more information. Police say over the last 5 months, 22-year-old Jay Hunter stole 2 guns, 4 catalytic converters, and a Chromebook laptop. He's facing more than a dozen charges in Manchester and has arrest warrants for similar crimes in East Hartford, Glastonbury, and Rocky Hill. All right, in our consumer alert this morning, if you own a Hyundai or Kia, listen to this. Those companies recalling 281,000 SUVs here in the U.S. over some concerns of the trailer hitch wiring starting a fire. Now, they were even warning owners of these vehicles to park outside and away from buildings. Now, this impacts the Hyundai Palisade and the Kia Telluride made between 2020 and this year. Now, luckily, there have not been any reports of crashes or injuries related to the recall.